Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday Night Football. We are very excited to be here at ANZAC Park in downtown Lindisfarne for two cracking games in line. In the first game, we have the U15A2 girls from Lindisfarne. There they are on the screen, the Mighty Two Blues, and they are up against the visitors in Glenorchy. And of course, in the second match, we have Lindisfarne and North Hobart in the U15A1 division for the boys. It is Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary tower, and I'm very, very happy to be joined by one of the doyens of the Lindisfarne Football Club, Mark Anning. Mark, welcome on board.
Thanks, Hoppy. It's great to be up here in the central commentary position once again, mate.
Yeah, it is. Now, this particular team that you know so well, you have coached them for a number of years, but you are looking towards the future and you've decided to step back and take on the managerial role to just sort of mentor the other few coaches that are coming through. Tell me a little bit about the history of this particular team.
Well, there's quite a few girls in that side that have sort of been in it 3, 4, 5 years now. We've got a few girls, we've got probably 6, 7 girls that have reached their 50 games. So, you know, been along the club there for a little bit.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah, so there's a few coming through and that, so, you know, they've been with us since under 11s and things like that, so.
And as is always the case here, Mark, it's just a wonderful feeling here on a Friday night at Lindisfarne. I mean, you've got the Oz kickers, and it's such a carnival atmosphere. It's something that you do very, very nicely as the siren goes. You do very, very nicely here at Lindisfarne.
Yeah, well, we try to make Friday nights the big club night here, so we have try to have all the clubs training, and you know, right through from Oz kick right through to you know, the youth ages and that, and bars open. You know, sausage sizzle going up on there on the balcony, and yeah, might better a couple of games on as well. So
absolutely, Mark, and the game is underway, and there you can see it was Glenorchy through the agency of Lily Holbrook Dobson takes that mark at centre half back. She goes downfield looking for Lynch. Lynch can't quite bring it in. Bit of a skirmish over that particular one. Well played there by Glenorchy. It's Eva Knoll who gets that one, gets it out further afield to King. King goes back in towards the goals, and a really nice setup. It didn't quite go through, but they've got the loose player now, have Glenorchy. Just a beige one. Well played there by Jones. Jones go back in towards the goal, and the left foot. Maybe the right foot might have been the thing to go for that particular kick, but unfortunately it's gone a little bit wide. There is Aria King again. She's tackled upon there. Zoe Rhodes goes in for Lindisfarne. Just reefs that one out. Gets another handball going close just outside the 50 arc. Glenorchy in some ascendancy early in this match. A couple of close contests there. It's very close towards the boundary line. They go again. Nice chain of handball there by Glenorchy. But Lindisfarne stoic in defence, and all of a sudden now they're starting to move that ball forward, leading out towards the ball. Couldn't quite get it, but that was good sell for Glenorchy. Another chain of handballs. Bristow gets it out wide, and it looks to be going towards the boundary line, and now Lindisfarne to take possession. But I tell you what, Mark, that's a very bright opening and a couple of good transitions of play by Glenorchy.
Yeah, straight down into their forward line, and Lindisfarne with their we've got quite a strong defence down there with a couple of girls there. Got it out and up into the forward line now, and hopefully convert something.
Okay, well, we can see here Glenorchy now through Madison Hardy. Did a really nice job there. She was nice and low towards the ground there. Gets it out towards that outer side. Bending down now, a little bit of confusion. Gets it across. Oh, that's a good tackle there by Lindisfarne, and Maya Free.
Maya Free, yep.
Tell me a little bit about her history as well.
She's probably about a 4th year of playing as well, so reached to 50 games this year, a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, coming along nicely with the club.
Do you love to see your forwards do the tackling like that? But Glenorchy through a good chain of hand. Oh, there's a blind turn out of trouble. Don't we love to see the blind turn?
The blind turn, bit of candy as well.
Madison Hardy, gee, that was from the top shelf as she went around one, and picking that ball up was Stella Nichols. But you can see there the urgency sown by Glenorchy, Mark. They really did. There's a bit of an injury there.
Yeah, Stella's gone down there. Might have got hit there somehow. And
we might have a look at that one on the Mood Food replay in just a minute.
going for medical.
Gee, there was some urgency there by the forwards.
Oh, she's hurt there.
Holding her arm, I think. Let's have a look.
Oh, umpire. Oh.
Oh, it might have hurt the shoulder or the elbow, I think, Mark, as she went down. So she doesn't look too happy, but we've, as we see here again on the Mood Food replay, I'm sure that the right people in the right jobs here, Mark. Just all but hyperextended the elbow, didn't she, as she went down? Well, a goal has been scored. I think the umpire said that she was able to take the kick, and Glenorchy have drawn first blood in this game here at ANZAC Park. We'll have a look at that one again for you. But that was a very nice kick.
Holly Bristow there kicking the first goal.
Gee whiz, that was a tough angle, Mark, and so she did a very, very good job to put that one through. So let's just hope that this injury isn't too nasty, Mark. But you could just see on that replay, she put her arm down almost, and the arm just sort of all but hyperextended, didn't it? So it might be a problem with the elbow.
Might have just caught up on the knee there or something by the looks of it. So
okay, so umpire's just waiting for her to come off, and I think that's a very, very sensible thing to do. And the player coming back on, who's that there, that young lady, Mark? Number 46. I didn't quite get her. We'll get that one in a minute. Didn't see her on the list. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I'm sure you'll pick that up for me in a minute as the ball goes up. Gee whiz, that's great clearance work by Glenorchy. Straight down the high diddle, and there's an opportunity for them to pick up. That was Bristow, who was the scorer. But it's again being just pushed towards the goal. They've got plenty of running at the moment, have Glenorchy, and at the moment I'm actually enjoying the way that they're trying to share the ball around. So Lindisfarne are under a little bit more pressure, but they're holding firm, and good defensive work there. That was strong play by Gaffney. Put herself in a little bit of danger, and she got the reward for it. But there is Glenorchy. They're setting up nicely behind the ball as well at the moment, Mark, aren't they?
Yeah. They seem to be sort of forming that wall there. So.
And Brooklyn Jones just drove that one in with great deal of strength. And taking the mark is Molly Castle, and Castle now, Shelley, what she's sporting a very nice mullet as well there, I tell you what. Oh, she's gone the short pass, and that was beautiful play by her. And just a little bit of loose checking as Madeline Lynch was able to put that one through. So I reckon former coach and guru Mark Anning, if I was to ask you in your coach's cap on, what would be the message for the defensive girls for Lindisfarne there on that particular occasion?
Well, definitely looking around for those loose players and picking them up. I mean, she's just standing there just on the side of the shot there. She's just off to your left and just blocks it straight to her. Obviously, probably not quite confident with the distance there, so just takes the shorter option.
I tell you what, that was really nice play, because I actually think that the Lindisfarne ladies thought, oh, she's going to have a shot, and maybe fell into that trap. But as long as it's used as a learning experience, I think that's what the count. But if we just check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and of course it has Glenorchy with a couple of good entries. They are 2 goals straight, 12 to Lindisfarne yet to score, but they are certainly still very much alive in this game. I like the way they're tackling, and I like the way they warmed up, Mark. And that's the other thing with the ladies' footy, is the specific way they prep to play. And I'm very, very impressed how you go about that. That's something that you would have been brought into these young ladies. They've been brought up with it. It's something
we instill, and get a good warm up and get loosened up and that. And our girls especially have done a few sessions with our senior team who sort of go through that quite regularly before games. So they've adopted that, and well, look at that bit of play.
Gee, that was very nice play again by Brooklyn Jones, who just put that one to the side. You can see they're under a fair bit of pressure, keeping it in Lindisfarne. It might be prudent to try and see the safety of that boundary line than coming back in and across. But they've got some good athletic girls out there, have Glenorchy. I think number 28, Noel, and Jones as well, number 29. You can see they're looking for each other, and on the fly, Hardy comes in and goes toward the goal and just put that one through. But I like the way they're sharing the ball around, Mark.
They certainly are, and that bit of link-up play there would look pretty impressive there. So obviously they're looking for players, and they're talking a bit out there by the looks of it, Glenorchy.
Like you just said, mate, that was terrific play. Madison Hardy received that ball absolutely on the fly. She received it at great pace, and that'll be a great learning experience when they watch the footage back. And there again, Lindisfarne under
tackle.
A bit of pressure, but that's what you need, isn't it? Just someone to fire up, Mark.
Marissa Cooper there, great tackle.
Yeah, so Cooper, stoic defender, goes back, decides to come back through the corridor, the shortest way home. They need someone to take on that game, but Holbrook Dobson for Glenorchy just arches the back, goes forward, back towards that centre half forward. So most of these girls, Mark, would have been playing since what, Auskick?
No, not so much since Auskick, but quite a few of them have come through from under 11s. Yeah, been playing quite a few years together, so.
Yep. That's fantastic. You can certainly see the skills on display here, as that's a lovely handball again by Glenorchy to that area of danger. And
look at that for a snapper goal.
King has done a very, very nice job just putting that over. Now, she reminds me, back when I was a lad, Mark, there's a guy who played for Essendon named Jeff Blethyn.
Whoa.
He played with the spectacles at full forward.
That's all, yeah.
And there she is there. She's got exactly those same frames as this young lady here, Aria King.
Probably not quite as thick as his was.
No, that's but look at that. They were very thick. But gee, that's a good snap, Mark, isn't it?
That is a great snap. That is a really good goal. Under pressure there as well, so.
Well, they started out of the blocks nice and early. We do understand if you are watching, you can't win a game in the first quarter, but of course you can lose one. So we hope that Lindisfarne will just start to get that steel about them. But it is Glenorchy. They're getting some good clearances and back towards King, leading forward. Back there is Schofield. Nice handball in the deep of defences, looking to one of their team. That's much better, but unfortunately that kick has gone straight back towards Lynch.
Just got it sort of lined up there across the centre there, haven't they? When the ball comes out of defence there, they've got some players there ready to go.
They have, Mark. I guess the only thing that you would suggest for Lindisfarne in this occasion is when there's a few goals being scored against you, just err on the side of caution. I don't know what your thoughts on that, but my wily old coach's hat would suggest let's just go towards the boundary line and don't give them another opportunity with that re-entry.
Yep, just bring it out there along the thing, and then getting close to half forward there, sort of bring it back in, so yeah.
Well, they've decided to roll the dice and bring it back nice and early as it comes back in towards the middle, and that particular time it does come off. So here is a chance that it comes over to a very, very open forward line, and Lindisfarne are leading towards the ball, and this is a very good section of play. Defenders hate it when it comes in so very, very quickly, and there is Anning. Anning just couldn't get the clutches onto her opposition, and Glenorchy are able to clear that particular one, but it could come back in with a bit of interest now. It does so. Well played there by Butler. Butler had a head up, looking for Knowles, and now Knowles. Not quite so much movement for her. Now she's gone for that lead. It's just that little bit too wide. I noticed Anning was on deep, but of course, maybe that kick wasn't going to go. What's going to happen here? Is it going to be kick again, or no? The errant kick is going to be paid.
I think she's gone out on the full. I think there. Yeah.
Okay. So look at Glenorchy. They've got the blinkers off, and they've decided to go for the fat side. This is courageous play by them, but if it comes off, it is a winner. Here comes King leading up. Sorry, not King. She's dispossessed. That was the mullet Castle. She went straight home, but good defence. This young lady here is, that's Schofield, I think, Mark, isn't she?
Schofield, yeah.
Well, she's had, 3 or 4 tackles. She's been a ripper so far.
Yeah, we put her down in back last week, and she played a sensational game. She usually sort of plays through the centre, but had a great game down in the back last week, so give her another try and see how she goes.
Well, she's certainly taken to it like a duck to water, Mark, because she sort of surveys the situation, and she's as hard as a cat's head, isn't she? She goes in hard.
Yep, she's got all the confidence, and that's grown over the last couple of years with her as well. So
that's great. Well, there's McCarthy for Glenorchy. Gets it back around, and that's a kick done by her again. Further afield, here is Castle. Castle can't quite pick it up. Now she does. Beautiful work below her knees, and hooks it back towards the goal. Didn't quite get enough on it. and it's a minor score.
Now this is, you don't see a lot of this, girls having a bit of a snapshot. They tend to sort of try to get in front and line up, and yeah, so they've obviously been practicing a bit out there at KG5 with a bit of the old round the body there, having a shot at goal. So
yes, maybe the other thing I do like to see as a coach, maybe just run away from the goal and continue to get that handball to someone running towards you if you can. But if there's no one on, obviously there's no option. But that's another behind there to Glenorchy. As we check the Brighton's best bakehouse, Lindisfarne yet to score, but they're very much in the game. And Glenorchy 3-3-21. So it's moving down towards nearly the 14-minute mark. Lindisfarne would like to hold on if they possibly could here and not leak another goal before that quarter-time siren goes. Nice play in defence, and it's going to be a ball up. Great as well out there, Mark, to see a couple of young umpires running around. Yeah, it is good. There's obviously got a few young ones on board this year. Obviously they had a bit of trouble to start the year, but seem to be doing all right now. These two young fellas seem to have good control of the game so far, which is very, very good. And we see here, I think that might have even been Schofield just trying to get it out as she were looking for Tennant. Tennant needs to get the wriggle on there, but she's beaten to the ball that particular time by McCarthy, who just screws that one back in. It's going very, very close towards the line. There is Gaffney. Gaffney, that ball is spoiled. It's been deemed to be asked to be playing on, and it's going to be another ball up. So time ticking down, 15-minute quarters. This is the first of two games coming to you from ANZAC Park. Quite a mild night out there, which is really good conditions to be playing football, and that is a very dangerous kick. But the siren has gone for quarter time as we just check the Brighton Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which reads Lindisfarne yet to score and Glenorchy 3-3-21. For Glenorchy, it's Madeline Lynch, Holly Bristow and Aria King with singles. Well, Mark, Glenorchy really did put in what I would have considered a good team performance. They actually looked to share the ball, didn't they? Absolutely. And there was, as we said before, there was a couple of good link-up plays there with the handballs, and they seemed pretty spot on with those handballs, getting them out. And yeah, they're certainly sharing it around in the forward line. I think that's what's sort of, dare I say, confusing Lindisfarne a little bit. And they seem to have the players in there to put the score on the board. Well, they really did. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for our first break here from ANZAC Park. We hope that you are enjoying the game. We'll be back with all the action in the second quarter very shortly.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade. Their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, love that
Welcome back here to ANZAC Park for the Barwick's STJFL Games of the Week. And we hope that you are enjoying the coverage. And of course, we can see our partners have come up on the screen there. We want a quick shout out to all of our very dear friends at IGA, where the locals matter. There's over 88 shops in and around Tasmania. Of course, your Hobart Health at 71 Bathurst Street. Not only the normal doctors there, they've got 17 doctors on call, but after hours up until 10 o'clock. So if there is any injuries, you can go in there. No use waiting. Of course, our very dear friends at Bennett Petroleum and Moved Food, and Brighton's Best Bake House. So that's fantastic. So we've just got that update on that one there. So the game is back on, and it is Lindisfarne who come out of the blocks nice and early. They are 21 points down at quarter time, but it's very close ladder as well, Mark, isn't it? Glenorchy are sitting atop the ladder, and then it's very, very congested.
Yeah, second, third and fourth. Yeah, there's only a few points there in between them, so it's the top four that go through to the finals. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to sort of drop a game or two this time of year with, I think, 3 rounds to go. So
absolutely, and it's a good test here for the two Blues. If they want to be challenging at that pointy end of the season, they have to test themselves against Glenorchy, who have been the yardstick. Of course, they have got a lot of good young ladies playing out there. They've in the senior ranks have always been somewhat dominant. At the start of the year, Mark, though, they had a little bit of trouble. Then Peter Barwick's come back, and there's been a bit more of a resurgence, isn't it? But it's very strong female footy at Glenorchy. Yeah,
it always has been. They've always sort of fielded plenty of teams, but yeah, they've had to sort of this year, I think, in the under-17s have a combined side with Glenorchy.
Yes, they have, haven't they?
Glenorchy and Claremont, sorry.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Under the tutelage, of course, from the maestro, Jimmy Horn.
Oh, well.
Yeah, goodness me, they're in very, very safe hands there. But here is Glenorchy now as they come and go running. And that's what I've liked about them so far. They get the footy and they look to take the game on. Screw the ball back in. It is Lindisfarne under a little bit of pressure. They'd love to just eke out that first goal. But tell me a little bit about the numbers in the junior ranks here at Lindisfarne, Mark.
Yeah, well, we've got pretty good numbers. The girls, we've got our under 11s and 13s, and also our under 15s here. We've got all pretty good numbers in those teams. So, so that's looking all right. And I think through we've got quite a few teams there with the boys as well. So
great.
Double up teams there in under 8s and 9s, and
that's fantastic.
And good numbers right through to under 15s there. So.
And what's really good too, we were talking, is that's a beautiful mark taken there by the two Blues. Is that their mark?
I think that's Sophia Jacobson, I think.
Sophia Jacobson.
Yeah, she's not on the list. I think we might have just called her up at the last minute, I think. Grabbed her out of the under 13s while they were training. And
fantastic. Well played by Sophia. She looks to bring the ball back. I think that was free. She goes the long kick, but Glenorchy back there in defence take that nice strong mark. Jones, we know she's very athletic as she tries to play on. She does bring it back towards that corridor area. Looking now for Castle, who's always provides a big strong challenge, but it is Lindisfarne who picked that one up. Cooper is beset upon there by the rampaging Molly Castle, and the umpire has only one choice, just to throw that ball aloft. Does so. Well played by Butler for Lindisfarne. Butler just sort of scratches a little kick out there. It was Moresby who picks that one up. The whistle has gone, a small infringement. Glenorchy quickly getting off the mark. I like that urgency around the football. But there is Rita Schofield, whom Mark told us just a few minutes ago was placed in the defensive area last week, played a pretty good game, and they said, well, why not? Let's try that particular guide again. And leading out, taking a nice mark is Glenorchy. Their movement, once they get it towards the half-forward flank mark, they really do lead nicely out from that half-forward line, don't they?
Yeah, they are. They seem to sort of know where to look and when to sort of make that lead as well. That's the big thing with some of the girls as well, is timing that lead.
It's not pack footy. It seems to be nice and open, so the girls aren't just standing next to each other, and that's a good sign of some reasonable coaching on board. So I'd say hats off to the coaches here, and to your very good self who have actually coached in the past. These girls have got a good sense of where to be and where to run in football, and that'll augur well as they go forward. I know it's been a tough year, Mark, for the senior ladies team, but they did lose a few players, but you've been building and building and had a couple of tight ones, and it must be really great to see some of these young ladies with your eye on them to come forward into senior ranks in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a few there, and we've had, especially with me coaching up there in the seniors this year, we've really connected a lot more this year too. We've had quite a few of the girls come along to training and get involved with the seniors, and the seniors have loved it, and they can sort of see what's some of the girls coming through and the skills they've got, because most of these girls have been playing for 4 or 5 years, when some of the girls and the seniors have only sort of been there a year or two. So,
well, you can see here, Mark, the way the girls hold the ball. It's not an awkward looking style. It seems to be quite a natural, placing the one hand and bringing it down, just placing on the foot. Yep. And that goes from playing the caper.
That's right, yeah. It's just those, and coaching and just showing them how to do it properly.
Okay, so that was Bristow for Glenorchy. She went up very, very high. It was Noel who was there. She seems to get a fair bit of grunt from that ruck roving sort of position, but there is Jamie Lee Triffett who just kicks that one out wide, and why wouldn't you when you've got plenty of people with some pace to burn, and one of them's Ella McCarthy who goes out wide. There is some candy and comes back in and knocks her own player down. That's the determination. She's just transfixed on one thing, is getting that ball forward, and here come Glenorchy in a race to the ball. Good athleticism. Just falling off the ball there with the two Blues, but they're really battling hard in defence, and they pick up that one. Well played by them. They're certainly in this game, and they're really, really trying. You see the determination etched across their brow as Jones picks that one up, being told to play on, as the big crowd are here and urging their players on, and Lindisfarne are being told to go behind the mark, and that's a really nice tackle. And I think that again is Schofield. Schofield looks that short pass, looking for Butler. Butler now picks it up, goes back inboard, looking for Anning, who then just gets the knock forward back through the central corridor position. And every time Lindisfarne look to get a bit of a break there, Mark, it's they've all been beset upon by really good defensive work there by Glenorchy, haven't they?
Yeah, they look. I mean, they're
running well.
They actually look to be quite fit and running well. And here's.
Oh, that's well played here by.
Good goal.
I think that was King, and King's put it through for her second goal. It was a nice kick as it came in, Mark, because it was kicked to her advantage. So smart play there by Glenorchy. We'll have another look at that one on the Mood Food replay. But when the ball came out, you can see here that quick handball and release, and look at that acceleration. Yeah. Nice work there by Lynch. And as it came over, just got that metre separation and on the goal side. And I guess that's something that maybe Zoe Rhodes will reflect on and say, maybe I just need to be on goal side. That just comes with experience, I would have thought, Mark.
And it is, and it's working out your player. And
and you're right, aren't you? That's right. Are they left? Are they right? Do they like to run? Do they like to pull you in and get a touch and feel? So it is 8 minutes gone in the second quarter, and here is an opportunity. It was well played by Anning. A few minutes ago I called her when she knocked that ball forward for a teammate. She's starting to get a few touches. One of the barometers for the team for Lindisfarne. She's a strong player and gets it towards the centre half forward position. Moresby tries to get the ball out. She can't do so as Lynch picks that one up. And Glenorchy, once they get it to the outside, they do look very, very dangerous. Ball comes back in. Some of their fleet-footed brigade. Just a bit of a soccer there, and gets it out towards that open expanses over here at ANZAC Park. Wonderful facility. Oh, that's a great pick-up there, Mark. Gee whiz, that's Zoe Rhodes, I think, isn't it?
Yep, that was Zoe Rhodes there. She's like the general down there in the back line.
Well, she's captain as well, isn't she?
Captain as well, yeah, captain this year.
Yeah, so she did a really nice job. She was just surveying the circuit, what was lay in front of her as a handball comes over. There is Jones, goes back inside. Noel picks it up. And we know that as soon as she picks it, she runs really quickly, does Eva Noel. But this particular time, it's a little bit of awkward kick, and it goes over the line.
Yep.
So now, Lindisfarne kick that one down. Anning goes up, just slips through her fingers, but it's Bingham that's at the back. There is Bingham, goes that handball to try and move it on as quickly as she can. Good contest there, but it is Glenorchy who picked that one up, and even Noel, by gee, she's got a good bit of pace on her, but Rhodes, she really reads the ball well, doesn't she, Mark?
Kicked that a good length as well.
Yeah, got it. What was a dangerous position for her, she got it really well free, and there is, talking of free, that is Maya free, gets it towards the true centre half forward position. Zoe Hunt is there. She just lost the handle on that one, but she goes back in to get it in. You can see there, it's a good contest at the moment there, Mark. You can see the concentration here by the two Blues. Once they get it inside the 50, they want to keep it there. Here is Maya free, but to the good grace of Glenorchy, they did a very, very nice job. If you can hear in the effects, it's like in the 70s, Mark. It's you can hear the disco going here. It's all action stations at Lindisfarne, isn't it?
Sound like we've got a few hundred people here, I think.
There was Anning again. She just bludgeons that ball on. Again, nice tackle. Goes back in, Lindisfarne. They're getting their hands on the ball here, Mark, but just not getting reward on the scoreboard, are they?
Yeah, they're just trying away there to keep it down there.
But I think in general play, they're very competitive in this quarter. No doubt about that, as Rhodes goes back. She's up against King. Excuse me. King goes the handball to herself particular time. Castle's there. We can see before she likes to kick the ball around the corner, but well played there by Burles.
Burles kicks it out, Charté, yep.
She did a good job there, Mark, to drop back, but she needs to be cautious as this ball comes in.
Oh, it's too open there.
And there is Aria King, who's kicked a goal in both quarters, and now she's got an opportunity, to get her third goal. So now she's got the set shot. Both of the other shots have been on the run. She comes in, goes towards the goal, and she's just pushed that to the far side and through for the minor score. So again, no goals in this quarter. Oh, sorry, only the one goal in this quarter, I apologise. It was 3 in the first, 1 here. So to say Lindisfarne are just working their way back into it, aren't they, Mark? But they just haven't been able to get that score on the board.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look there. Like Aria King, there's kicked a couple in the game already. She's actually kicked about 36 goals this season. So you can sort of see why Glenorchy's.
That's a fair effort, isn't it?
It is at the moment. Yeah, in this competition.
In this competition, to me, they seem to have plenty of firepower. She looks very, very likely. Bristow, we've seen Lynch, Jones, and Noel probably in that midfield, and they've also got who's the other young lady? I think it's Castle, who looks like she if she gets the ball anywhere near goal, she looks likely to get one now. So they're hanging on Lindisfarne in this game as the ball goes back up through the middle of the play. Again, it's coming deep in towards that attacking area now, and they need to stand tall, and it's Gaffney who leads the ball. Well played by Gaffney. And one of the good things about that, Mark, was clean hands. Once you fumble, it becomes problematic. So she showed a really clean set of heels in her pace, but also that clean pickup.
And I think we've got a free being paid downfield by the looks of it. She may have been dumped after the play.
Okay, well, she's certainly diminutive in her. Oh yeah, I just saw on the corner there, just maybe bumped.
Yep, late bump there. So free kick downfield.
So it is
Emily Butler to take that.
Well played there by Butler. Butler looking for one of her teammates. So what are we next? Coming up to about that 14-odd minute mark. So coming towards the halfway mark in this match in the under 15A2 division of the Barwick's STJFL season for 2022. As that ball comes over to Hanlon, bit of a soccer off the ground, and maybe. It was almost like 50 cents each way on that one. Didn't know whether to go to soccer or the pick-up. And it's gone through for the minor score. Just need to take their time here to the two Blues. They've been told to go to that outer side. They've had a spare player. But backing back was Eva Knoll, who's looked very, very dangerous right throughout this game. Goes back inside. Well played there by Millhouse. Millhouse just on a surge here for the two Blues. Gets it close towards that line. And she does really well. Tackled. Ball spills. A couple of really strong tackles here, Mark.
Yep.
And I think that one is being paid as holding the ball. Well played there.
Yep.
Both teams, the calibre of tackling has been of a very, very high standard.
Yeah, they don't hold back, the girls.
I agree.
I think they save all their anger up all week. And
I think you're right there, mate. When you see them off the ground, you think, oh, no, shoot.
Yeah, no.
Butter wouldn't melt them out.
Exactly.
But the siren has gone here for half-time. As we just check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, it reads Glenorchy 4-5-29 to Lindisfarne yet to score. For Glenorchy, the visitors, Aria King has got a couple, and as Mark astutely pointed out, prior to this she had 36 goals. Holly Bristow has got a single, and Madeline Lynch. And of course for the home team, they are yet to score, but they've been very, very close and made a really good fist of it in that second quarter. So it is half time, but at the moment, Mark, it is all in front of Lindisfarne. Yeah,
absolutely. I think they seem to pick up that quarter, and a little bit of confidence in that quarter. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Jared Free has to say to them at half time, and how they come out in the second half of the game. Well,
that is to come in the second half. It is time for us to have our second break, the main break now, as we see the visitors North Hobart coming on for their pre-game in the under-15 clash. But don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back with all the action very, very shortly.
Weeks ago, and coming along nicely with the club.
Gee, you love to see your forwards do the tackling like that, but Glenorchy threw a good chain of hand. Oh, there's a blind turn out of trouble. Don't we love to see the blind turn?
The blind turn, bit of candy as well.
Madison Hardy, gee, that was from the top shelf as she went around one, or the elbow, I think, Mark, as she went down. So she doesn't look too happy, but we've, as we see here again on the Mood Food replay, I'm sure that the right people in the right jobs here, Mark, just all but hyperextended the elbow, didn't she, as she went down? Well, a goal has been scored. I think the umpire said that she was able to take the kick, and Glenorchy have drawn first blood in this game here at ANZAC Park. We'll have a look at that one again for you. So that was a very nice kick.
Holly Bristow there kicking the first goal.
Gee whiz, that was a tough angle, Mark, and so she did a very, very good job to put that one through. So let's just hope one in with great deal of strength, and taking the mark is Molly Castle, and Castle now, Shelley, watch there, I tell you what. Oh, she's gone the short pass, and that was beautiful play by her, and just a little bit of loose checking as Madeline Lynch was able to put that one through. So I reckon former coach and guru Mark Anning, if I was to ask you in your coach's cap on, what would be the message for the defensive girls for Lindisfarne there on that particular occasion? What, Auskick?
No, not so much since Auskick, but quite a few of them have come through from under 11s. Been playing quite a few years together, so...
Yep. That's fantastic. You can certainly see the skills on display here, as that's a lovely handball again by Glenorchy to that area of danger. And
oh, look at that for a snapper goal.
King has done a very, very nice job just putting that over. Now she goes back inboard looking for Anning, who then just gets the knock forward back through the central corridor position. And every time Lindisfarne look to get a bit of a break there, Mark, it's really good defensive work there by Glenorchy, haven't they?
Yeah, they look, I mean, they're
running well.
They actually look to be quite fit and running well, and he's...
Oh, that's well played here by...
Goal.
I think that was King, and King's put it through for her second goal. It was a nice kick as it came in, Mark, because it was kicked to her advantage.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After-Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade, their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste.
So welcome back to ANZAC Park in the Barwick's STJFL game of the week. We've got a couple of crackers on board, and this is the first one. It is in the U15A2 girls division. It is Lindisfarne 2 Blues who come out of the blocks very swiftly against Glenorchy, mate. That's just what you want. And I know you went down and had a bit of a listen to see what was going on inside the hub of Lindisfarne. What did you have to report?
Oh, I think that you've just been told to try and attack that ball a bit better and, you know, obviously watch their loose runners that Glenorchy got, which they seem to have quite a few of.
Yes.
Just pick their players up, just be mindful where they are and just take their chances where they can.
Yeah, the reality is footy sometimes, Mark, we can make it complicated, but seemingly quite easy, isn't it? You suddenly have to say to yourself, there can't be anyone free if everyone is accountable. That's the old-fashioned man on footy instead of a zone. But really, if you haven't got the football, it's incumbent on you to find a player. When you've got the footy, that's no trouble at all. That's when you've got to make the break. But if you haven't got the footy, you don't own the game, so find someone. So there it is, according to the Bible of old super coach Hopwood back in the day, but it's pretty simple really. Here is Glenorchy, lovely pickup. Again, I am most impressed by the skills of these young ladies below their knees. And they've stayed on their feet as best they can, and picking that up is Madison Hardy. She is dispossessed and gives that ball over, and they're running freely. They do look to bring each other into the game. There is Castle. Castle, this particular time, she's up against Anning, and she's found a match there, but there is helping is Lynch. Lynch comes back inside. And look at the numbers there. I think that's Annie again with a lovely, long, raking kick, but backing back is Glenorchy taking a mark, and Jones just seems to be everywhere, doesn't she, Mark? She is a good athlete.
She is, and she's a great little player as well. She's been one of their dominant players most of the year, so...
Yep. Well, she did a nice job there with that kick, but she just drifts across loose and picks up plenty of marks. She has a lot of determination around the footy. I noticed I've watched a lot of senior football in the ladies this year, Mark, as you would have done, but would have as well. The marking here tonight's really good too, isn't it? They're strong above their eyes.
Yep.
They're great, some of the girls, the way they're marking, as that one's just off the side of the boot. Going in to get it again. There is Anning. Provides the good block and shepherd for Morrisby to get that quick kick away. some numbers here, just getting a little bit close together. The only thing I could suggest here, Mark, would be if the girls, when they pick it up, just spread slightly. So when you get that handball, to get it out wider, as that was a big, strong bump taken. A bit of pressure being applied here by the two Blues, but seemingly every time they get it down there, Mark, Glenorchy have the answers at the moment.
Yeah, they seem to have plenty of players back there. I dare say some of their midfielders may be dropping back there just to...
Yes, that two-way running, isn't it?
Yep.
And so you're saying, I think it's a 14 on the ground at the moment. So what's that, 4-6-4?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 14 tonight. I think Glenorchy were down a couple of players, so we match the numbers up when teams are a bit low on players, so make it even. So yeah,
that's always good. So there is Triffett. Triffett picks that one up, goes out to the wide expanses of that wing area. Lindisfarne there picking it up. Excuse me, just not the biggest kick, but it was to advantage of a player going out, and Lindisfarne have got some pace across the half forward line, but this is the young lady that's got the pace, is Eva Knoll. There's a couple, Eva Knoll and Brooklyn Jones. They are very, very good athletes, and as soon as they get it, they run with great energy. And I think that time it's the skipper, Rhodes, who's been told that she has been rewarded for an incorrect disposal by her direct opposition in King. So now there is Rhodes. Gets it out, but it's going to come back with some interest. Need to stand firm to Lindisfarne. They do on this first particular attack as it comes inside the 50, but this one's going to be a deeper entry and looking for King. King comes out. We know she can kick a goal. She's got a couple today already. She does go the handball. It might be the give and go, looking to go to someone in a better position. That one was Molly Castle. Castle does the swing around, gets that short pass, give her the benefit of the doubt, goes in towards the square. I'm not sure if it was touched. It doesn't quite matter now. The ball's still in play. What determination showed there by Burles, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. She wanted that ball out of there, but...
She certainly did, and picking that one up was Noel, who's been a very good player. The only slight criticism there, Mark, was maybe had a tad more time just to square the shoulders and run in towards goal, but you can't blame the player. It needs to be the people round her, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
So it is the two Blues. So I know it's looking into the crystal ball, Mark. You're very much, footy is in your DNA. You'll go round again next year in certain capacities here at Lindisfarne?
Yeah, probably just full time at the seniors next year. Obviously, my daughter's playing in this game, Abby. So last year she'll be able to play in this age group. So we've struggled with the under 17 sort of age group. So I think she's been doing actually a fair bit of training with the seniors this year. So so I think she might take that step up into the senior ranks next year and have a bit of a go there.
Good. Oh, that's all goes well for not only the numbers but the depth. Yeah, you have in the two Blues as well.
And there's a few other girls sort of there's about 3 or 4 other girls in that same boat as well. So I think they're all going to come and do a bit of a pre-season and see how we go.
Oh, that's fantastic. As Glenorchy take the bounce, that is a Triffett. She just loses the handle on it that particular time as Lindisfarne holding firm. So that's about 6.5 minutes in, and Glenorchy hadn't been able to slice through the defence of Lindisfarne yet. Oh, that's a good tackle by Anning, and been deemed to be throwing it, and she'll be rewarded here. Get that ball back, otherwise I think it'll be. Oh, it just wasn't so clear.
Wasn't 100% sure, I think. So we'll give her that one.
Yeah, Anning, strong kick down the centre, but unfortunately for her, it's Madeline Lynch who just chips in and takes another mark on a chest this time. And look at the space that's being provided. Triffett, who's been probably playing down back more. Now she looks for King.
That was a fantastic lead there by King there. I just watched her there as she took off. So
King, and then she goes back in and almost a mark taken, looking for it, but didn't quite get control. I think she'll look at this Molly Castle on the replay and realise that she didn't quite have it under control.
You've got to, at this age group, you've got to hold the ball, so make it a clear mark.
I agree. Well, that particular time, it was Burles who was up against King, and she was able to hold her out, but unfortunately for the two Blues, this is going to come back in again, and it's just about this area, Mark, that they just are doing a very good job, Glenorchy, aren't they?
They are. See if Brooklyn Jones can kick this, probably right on a limit, but
she does go that long kick, and Lindisfarne are able to mop that one out. And that's the kick in hindsight, I reckon, Mark. If you can't make the distance, it's almost worth sometimes just to even drop it even shorter.
Yep, that's it. Just pop
into
it up
that
there.
area of sort of 15 out.
Yep. Hopefully there might be a crumbler or two at the front there to snag it in.
For someone like Aria King, who's got all of those goals, she certainly looks to share the ball around, doesn't she, Mark?
Yeah, she's obviously aware of probably where she can kick it from, and so probably those angles there are probably a bit tight for her. So yeah, looking just to centre it, get it to what we call the hot spot there in front of the goals, and
very selfless play by her, and that's been really part of the play by Glenorchy. I'm not saying Lindisfarne aren't that, not at all, but Glenorchy, once they've had that more free-flowing game, they've always looked to have someone go past at pace with the handball, and they've looked to give it, haven't they, Mark? Which has been a sign of a good team.
They are. They're sharing it around really well tonight.
So Lindisfarne now, here's a chance for them, comes out towards Anning. Anning goes back in, does a good job to pick that one up, tries to get the kick out, but all of a sudden Madison Hardy's come in, and she's just got it before she's got that kick away.
Yep.
So Hardy then goes deep into the attack, and leading out is Molly Castle, who takes that one. And here it is again. Castle looks for the lead, and this time the recipient was King, who couldn't quite bring it in. They've got a couple of numbers there, but this is where Lindisfarne have really improved since that bit in the first quarter, Mark, haven't they? They've got extra people behind the ball.
Yep.
The challenge is this next kick. So they've been really good in the deep defensive area. Glenorchy just trying to provide a shepherd, but Anning just bullocks her way through, trying to get that ball. Needs a little bit of help, as the umpire says. Glenorchy were over the ball, and they didn't have the possession, so McCarthy takes the free kick. McCarthy goes, that's Schofield. A great mark by Schofield.
Yeah, good mark.
And this is the thing that I've been talking about, isn't it? That the strength of these young ladies above their eyes has been just wonderful to watch on display here in the Barwick's under 15A2 STJFL season, the match of the day. And there is Lily Holbrook Dobson, goes back inboard. Can't quite get that kick away. We're nearly, 10.5 minutes gone now. Oh, there's a courageous bit of play there by Emily Butler. She's somewhat diminutive, isn't she, Mark? But I'll tell you what.
One of the smallest on the ground there, but
leading from the front, wasn't she? That was great play. I think that was Malinowski, who was just trying to get that one here, whereas they need someone to inspire them. As this is a good tackle there by Tennant.
Maddie Tennant there, yep.
So let's see how this entry comes in, as Tennant goes the short pass, but chipping in.
Did the good option there, but
it was.
Yeah, just didn't quite get in front.
So I think that's Eva Knoll, who, those extra numbers behind the ball, Mark, that's that midfield group who are running really, really hard two ways.
Yep.
So Lindisfarne pushing the ball forward. Here's a chance for them. It's Tennant who's there. She's being assisted. I think that might be Morrisby. Comes out the back. Here's a bit of a chance for them in Millhouse if they can do so. Whistle on play, and she's deemed to be holding it a little bit too long.
Yep. And
Holbrook Dobson will take the free kick for Glenorchy.
I think she might have seen the goals in her eyes there, I think, and
can do funny things to players, can't it, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
here's a repeat entry. They go very, very quickly. It's a big chance if they can get their dukes on it. Glenorchy, can they hold up now? Lindisfarne just a tad tentative toward the ball on that particular occasion, almost a holding the ball call. And the big crowd here, the adoring fans of the two Blues, are urging their girls on. And here they go again. It's Maya Free, and it's a big kick towards the goals, and they're on the mark.
On the board.
Well, that was a great surge at the goals there, though, Mark, wasn't it?
Well, they're attacking. They just seem to be growing each quarter. So maybe if they can sort of snag one or two.
Oh yeah, if they get
towards the end of this quarter, we've got a couple of minutes to go. But
I'd love to get this goal just to give them that little bit of confidence. I would have thought. There is Eva Knoll. Knoll breaks away, just arches the back, and she only knows one way, and that's full pace.
She's got some pace, hasn't she?
Oh, yeah, but here come Lindisfarne again. That's a great handball back to Free. Free goes in, so it's close towards the boundary line with the leading forward going out there was Beatrix Millhouse, can't quite bring it in, and it's going to be a ball up. Very close to that attacking goals for Lindisfarne. So 2 minutes left. Can they get that much needed goal? Well played there by Lynch. There's a chance if they can pick this one up, the two Blues. Unfortunately for them, the Magpies pick it up and they get it outside their 50. Oh, now there's a big chance for them to break as Molly Castle was terrific below her knee. She's going to go and get it again. Goes another handball, pushing it out wide. The two Blues are really surging now. They've got numbers around the footy. Picking that one up, I think that was holding the ball as Jetson was pinned. Couldn't quite get the kick away, that one, Mark. And a good tackle there by Glenorchy.
Yeah, they're just quick to tackle. They're quick to bounce on their opponents.
Yep.
Glenorchy, they're good. They've got some good defence going.
Well, here she is again. That's even. Oh, what a magnificent pickup. And back in the deep of defence was Butler. She goes back through the middle of the ground, so we're ticking up now to about the 14-minute mark. And it is Glenorchy with a very, very handy lead at this stage. But the two Blues, they've shown a lot of courage and a bit of pluck in this quarter. In the last two quarters, actually, have held them. But here are Glenorchy. They wouldn't want to give a leak a goal in this last stages of this quarter as King has a big deep kick. That was only off a step as well,
just
Mark.
A step and a bit of around the.
It was a funny old kick, wasn't it?
The arc kick they're doing.
It was, wasn't it? The Buddy Franklins are out that one.
Yeah.
So that's a nice kick and spots up Rita Schofield. Schofield now just trying to take her time. She's acutely aware of the state of the game, so decides to head out towards that boundary line now. Leading up is McCarthy. McCarthy, oh, look at that
tackle.
Strong tackle as soon as Bingham picked that one up.
Yeah, she's straight onto her.
Wasn't she what? So I reckon the siren should just about sound. It's ticking down towards that 15-minute mark, but Glenorchy take another mark. Excuse me, but here they go now. They're coming back inboard. I think they're on a bit of overtime, but beautifully played there by Lindisfarne. Knowles drops back and takes that mark. She goes back through the centre of the ground. Big long kick here by Lindisfarne. But standing tall is Glenorchy. Glenorchy at the true centre-half back position. Get it up through the middle. Big kick here by Triffett. Triffett goes back indoors. Good enough to follow that ball up and get her own front and centre. And again, just terrific below the knees. I think that was Gaffney. Pretty sure what's happened to the old siren here, Mark. We've got the clock down there at nearly 16 minutes gone.
Well, he's fallen asleep up there.
I might have to...
Hasn't been too much scoreboard action this quarter. So.
Doing a bit of overtime in the third, maybe a shorter fourth quarter might be on the option as we now into the 16-minute mark of the third quarter, and there's been a bit of an injury there to Jamie Lee Triffett. Isn't that great to see there, Mark? You've got the medicos. We're clearly identified with the white singlet and the green cross. Coming back across there is Lynch. Lynch goes towards centre half forward. Castle comes out. She's a straight ahead sort of player. Lindisfarne hanging on now. It's Glenorchy, goes back into their attacking area, but well played there by Rhodes. Rhodes been so good right throughout this game in the back line. She's normally a back line player, Mark.
Yeah, she does. She's one of our sort of major defence players there, so that's where she's always played. Plays that position really well.
Yeah, she sort of does well. There's a bit of a belated siren, I would have thought, at the 17-minute mark. But it's gone anyway, and we just checked the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and it says that Glenorchy 4-7-31 to Lindisfarne, one behind for the visitors. It's Aria King with 2, Holly Bristow with 1, and Madeline Lynch with 1. And of course, Lindisfarne getting on the scoreboard with that good surge. Although they're, 30-odd points down, Mark, they looked really likely in that quarter, didn't they? They probably had I'm going to say 50% at least in their forward 50.
I think so, yeah. I mean, the way Glenorchy started off in the first quarter there, kicking 3 goals straight out of the blocks there, and held them to 2 points in that quarter, and sort of got on the scoreboard themselves and attacked quite well. Yeah, look, if they had a couple of goals there, it could have been interesting going into the last quarter, but we'll see what Coach Jared Free has to say and what he does with them.
Very much so. So it's going to be our last opportunity to take our break. So now's the time to go and get the kettle on before we come back with all the action in the last quarter in the Barwick's STJFL Under 15A2 game, coming to you live from ANZAC Park. We'll be back shortly.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade, their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste.
So the siren has gone for the start of the last quarter here in the Barwick's STJFL game of the round. It is the Lindisfarne 2 Blues under 15A2 against Glenorchy, and so far it has been, it was all one way in that first quarter. Glenorchy looked like they were really going to go away with the game, but they've come back hard, have the 2 Blues, just have been a little bit unlucky in relation to their capacity to score. Last quarter they were a lot closer and a lot better, as that one's been taken high. And the leader, Zoe Rhodes, she leads from the front, Mark, doesn't she?
She does, and yeah, she has led from the front this year, and she's stepped into the captaincy role really well, and she has a few words to say to the girls before the start of the game, and
it's great.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, it's good if you've got someone who takes to that. No doubt about that. You need some leaders on the ground. And this young lady, she has shown she's a good player, and we can just hear from Mark Anning a little bit about what she does away from the ground as Glenorchy pick that one up and they go back in towards the forward line. I think that's Schofield going back, and I tell you what, I think she's made a name for herself down back, Mark.
I think she might have done. I think she might have, yeah, cemented a spot back there.
They've got a couple of really good girls with the captain and her across half back. That's the nucleus of like when Anning's gone back, but as well, she's been good on the ball. And this young lady here, I think that was Burles. She's a very, very determined player. You've also got Gaffney, who's, have a look at her. She's what 20 kilos ring and wet, but she absolutely goes in really, really hard, doesn't she?
Does, yeah. No, she's played for quite a few years too, Eleanor. So
yeah. Yeah, there we go. So it is now Lindisfarne. Take that one. That's the beauty of the game, isn't it, Mark? It doesn't matter about the sizes. You can find a position for you. There's no doubt about that, and it's really fascinating that sometimes these little whippets, they sort of get in, as I think King, as we might have a look on the Mood Food replay,
might have just
is it
something there.
Across the back of the neck. We can see here she picks the ball up, and I was just where she fell, just hit her head a bit.
Come back and hit her head when she's
it was
down.
Just unfortunately there she came back, just hit her head on the ground. And what about the sportsmanship there, Mark? That's great to see. As Zoe Rhodes obviously looked quite concerned that she was
just checking she's all right.
She's okay.
Yep.
And that's what you want to see, don't you, in footy?
Yeah.
In any sport, to be honest.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
So it is. Glenorchy, they've got that ball in the side there, forward 50. Great tackle by Butler.
She's been rewarded too.
Yep, she has indeed. She hang on just like a limpet on a rock. She wasn't going to give that one away, was she?
No.
And as we spoke about, only diminutive in stature, but gee whiz, she did a great job there. She was so tenacious. Comes around. Lovely work there by Glenorchy, just getting in behind the ball. Gets it across towards that wing position. Good hands there by Glenorchy. Just trying to come back inboard to an aggressive position to try and set themselves up, but they really have found attacking a lot trickier now, Mark, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Lindisfarne sort of stepped up their defence, and
as we can see here, good strong play there by Lynch. Lynch goes directly towards the goal. Dispossessed this particular time as Lindisfarne trying to mount that assault, but that one's gone straight all but into the face there of Madeline Lynch. But she did a good job to stand her ground, goes back inboard again. Lindisfarne trying to get their dukes on it, but Glenorchy are having plenty of say as Anning just stretched out and was able to put the kicker off, so there was no great distance on that particular one. There is Butler, goes back inside. Anning's there. She picks it up nice and cleanly, gets it out towards one of the running players. Needs a bit of a block on, and the block was provided by Hunt. Hunt goes back in to get it again. It's getting very, very close towards that boundary line, but Glenorchy are able to keep it in. It's just bobbing around like a ball in a pinball machine there, but Anning is on the end of it. Anning goes that big kick back indoors, and this particular time it comes off as Maya Free comes out and takes the mark. Free, gee whiz, that was a nice play to get it across the centre of the ground. It's Bingham who picks it up, but a bit of an errant kick, that one. The eyes didn't really come down and didn't get lowered, did they, Mark? So it's unfortunately for her as a quick trip there as they come inside Glenorchy. So what have we got? 5 minutes gone in what is assumed is going to be a 15-minute quarter. I reckon the timekeeper might have been on the disco. He was probably being sidetracked by a bit of Bee Gees or something.
Yeah.
Not really sure what's going on up there, but I think that's a combination, isn't it, of some of the frivolity up there in the change rooms in the club rooms, and also a bit of doof in the change rooms for the next game.
The next game, the boys have got the music going, getting revved up.
They certainly are. There is Madison Hardy. Beautiful pick up there as she screws that ball around to a good offensive position. Goes back towards King, gets it over towards Castle. Castle screws the ball around, and here is who's going to get this one. It's a really good contest and beautifully picked up. And look at the numbers coming back for. That's great tackling there by Lindisfarne. Terrific work by them. Under plenty of pressure, and it's Gaffney who tries to clear that ball. The handball comes in. They've still got numbers now, but gee whiz, you'd be so thrilled with the play of the two Blues there, Mark, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was. They really got back there and helped out Eleanor there to stop that goal. It was almost a certainty there to Brooklyn Jones there.
So Castle screws that one around. Couldn't do it far enough, and it's gone towards the boundary line, and will be a ball up. And we are, what are we now, Mark? We're sort of 7 odd minutes into this last quarter in what has been a pretty entertaining game so far. Yeah,
I mean, even though Lindisfarne have only got that 1 point on the board, they've sort of shown some signs here in the second half of what they're probably capable of.
Very much so. So it's a good pick up and kick by Madison Hardy, and there is King. Very tight angle. Probably could make the distance, but she's gone the check side. Ooh, just gone a little bit too much on the check side as she just signals to some of her teammates, oh yeah, I know I maybe could have gone that, but I just sort of thought I could get that one.
Yeah, she has too. She's gone the old check side.
A lot of players like to do those sort of kicks at the end of training, don't they?
Yeah, that's
all the specky sort of stuff.
Yeah, you get out there and have a bit of a kick about.
So Lindisfarne trying to come back into this game, but there standing tall was Lynch. King is still there. Ball comes back. Picked up by Jones. Jones goes on a left foot. She's very good on both sides of her body.
Yep.
Rolling towards the boundary line. Leading out to it is Triffett. Triffett goes down. Again, picks it up as clean as a whistle, but kicks into the person that's in front of her and just checks that she's all right. And the umpire comes over and makes sure that that is the case, and now it'll be a ball up. There is the throw up. Glenorchy get the tap. It's Castle trying to barge their way through. Here's a bit of a chance to get that goal, and it is indeed. Well, the amount of pressure that came on the defensive team there of Lindisfarne was too much, and Hanlon was able to just bullock her way through there, and she's put it through. There's been a bit of an injury sustained. I think Burles went down.
Burles has gone down there. We'll
have a look at that on the Mood Food replay. Just coming through here, and just fell over her own player. And I'm not sure.
Got the knee there by the looks of it. Whether
she
hurt
hurt
down on the knee or
So the medical staff will be just checking that one out. The one thing I can say though is that given the amount of rain that we've had, that the ground should be reasonably soft when you fall down.
It is. I was out there on Wednesday night with our seniors training, and it still is a little bit spongy underfoot. Not wet, but just a little bit spongy. So,
gee, that's it's been a fair amount of rain. It's just been hanging around the water, hasn't it? A couple of the grounds I know down my way, the old Skybus Oval at Lauderdale on the coaching box side, there's just been a little bit of water that's been lingering, and it's become quite problematic.
Yeah, we've got the same sort of down in the the road end there
Yep.
at the sort of left side, this sort of side of the ground. That sort of seems to sit down there and.
Yep. So now Glenorchy, they'd be up and about after that last goal, but brilliant work there by Lindisfarne. What a tackle by Butler. And one of the things I'm loving about this Lindisfarne team is that they never give up attitude.
No, they just seem to be fighting right to the end. So,
which is a terrific sign for them as Bingham picks it up. Bingham trying to spin that ball around and look for another player in a better position. And there she finds Moresby. Moresby, with only a short kick on that particular occasion, sees Glenorchy pick that one up as they try and find it towards some space, and leading out again, taking a terrific mark, is Jones. Jones goes back inboard, and again the marking standard tonight has been just tremendous. Spilling that one was Schofield, but she's been terrific, and she's able to mop that one up because she's got time and space. She's trying to find someone in an attacking position. In this particular stage it was Jetson, but she's been outpointed by her opposition. And there is Castle, just bumps her opponent aside, using some bullocking tactics as Glenorchy drive that one in towards King. And King goes back, and again she steadies and marks that ball. So now, I'd say she'd probably been in her distance, taking plenty of time over the kick. She goes back, and she's drilled that one for her third goal. So if we're not mistaken, that'll be her 39th for the season.
According to,
Player HQ, as we see on the Mood Food replay, it was that entry, and maybe upon reflection, when you have a dominant forward, you just got to get your arm across them. And Aria King has gone back, which isn't an easy thing to do in footy. It's one of the things that hasn't improved in the 150-odd year history of Australian rules football, is the kicking for goal. But gee whiz, that was a lovely shot and straight through the middle. So we checked the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and it shows that Glenorchy are 6-8-44, leading the two Blues, that one behind, as Annings pushing towards the ball for Lindisfarne. There has been a whistle, and Lindisfarne will take that free kick, being deemed to be held without the ball. So here is Butler. Butler goes towards that wing position. Claiming the mark was Noel. The umpire was having none of it. Decided to say it must have been play on. Bursting way through is Schofield. She's been dispossessed. Anning the same again. And she's been slung off the ball that particular time, but didn't get rid of the ball correctly according to the umpire. So a free kick there going to Glenorchy. Goes deep into towards their attacking area. Lindisfarne holding firm, getting that quick kick. Glenorchy, deep one, and they've got players on here. They spill that one, but they've got time to look for someone in a better position, and running hard towards the ball is Bristow. Bristow now picks it up. She looks inside and sees that she's got a couple of girls to come towards her. She tries to get around them. She can't do so. Good defensive work there from the two Blues. As here come Glenorchy again with this repeat entry. It is unrelenting pressure they are applying to Lindisfarne. Comes back over the back. There's a player spare, so they've got to be pretty careful and clean hands. There is King, the dominant forward. She's leaning down, trying to pick that ball up. Can't get it at this stage. Gee, it's a hard contest in there, and there's only one option, and that will be a ball up.
And Aria King there sort of battling hard. I think trying to get that last goal to maybe get her tally up to 40.
She's a really good forward, isn't she, mate? She's good above her eyes, so she's a good mark of the ball, but she's very, very clean hands as well.
She is, and
that was a young Noel who's gone down. I think she's probably she's exhausted.
Is it Noel or?
No, 20. It's Jones.
Brooklyn Jones there. Yep.
Oh, it's interesting there. Like she's hobbled like she was shot. It's almost like in the knee or the ankle that something happened to her, because there was. So I hope she's okay. And there is one that's deemed a little bit too high. The player that particular time was Eva Knoll. She tried to stop, but just a bit clumsy, but the siren has sounded, and it is a victory for Glenorchy. So Glenorchy 6-9-45, defeating Lindisfarne, one behind. For the victors, it was King with 3 goals, and singles to Bristow, Hanlon and Lynch. But
I mean, sort of not taking too much notice of the scoreboard. I mean, Glenorchy got that jump in the first quarter there, but the rest of the game, especially the second half, was really quite an even game. So I think Lindisfarne sort of stood up there in the second half and sort of took it back to them. But
well, they did. It was, I think, 3 goals in the first quarter, and then it was only the singles. And Lindisfarne, especially in that last quarter, had probably the majority of the ball in their forward half, but they just couldn't get it across the line, could they?
Yeah, no, Glenorchy sort of had that defence there that seemed to just stop them there, but I think both the defences were working very hard in that second half of the game.
Well, I agree. So there are the 2 Blues as they come off. So we're going to wind it up here in our first game of the day, which is the under 15A2. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back very shortly with the under 15A1 top of the table clash between Lindisfarne and North Hobart.